Hello and welcome to Virtual Crafts. In this video we'll see how we can install WordPress on Localhost server using Xampp. We've already seen how we can install WordPress locally on our computers in the first video of this series using Bitnami WordPress, and that was a very simple process and we installed our WordPress in less than 5 minutes. Today we'll see how we can install WordPress on the Localhost server. This is a bit lengthy process and you'll have to be careful as this process involves dealing with directories and creating databases. I'll walk through this tutorial in some steps so that it's easy for you to follow up. The first step will be to download and install Xampp. I'll give a download link in the description. The second step will be to download and extract WordPress CMS in a specified directory. After that, we'll have to create a database that will connect our WordPress to a localhost server. And then finally, the last step will be going through a small setup wizard for WordPress. So let's start with the first step of the process. Open your browser and search for the term Xampp. Make sure it's the apachefriends.org website. Click on this link. Here you'll find 3 download links for Xampp. If you're on Mac or Linux, you can go for the respective links, but I'm on Windows, so I'll go for this one. Okay, start the download. I'll just pause the recording here and resume when the download is finished. Okay, this is the Xampp setup file we just downloaded. Open the file and run the installation wizard. Now we'll go through an installation wizard for Xampp. Click next, next again. This is the default directory in which Xampp will be installed. In your Windows drive, a Xampp folder will be created. You should not change this path as we don't want to make it more complex for us. Click next. You can select a language here. Click next again and install. This is just a redirection. Open your setup wizard again. Click install. Okay, the installation wizard is now started. I'll pause the video here and resume when the installation is finished. Okay, Xampp has now been installed in our Windows drive in a folder called Xampp. Click finish. This is the Xampp control panel. Every time you run WordPress, and you'll have to run some modules on it, which I'll explain in later part of this video when we'll create a database to connect our WordPress to localhost. For now, just close this control panel and let's see if Xampp folder has been created in our Windows drive. Open the Windows drive. Okay, a new folder called Xampp has now been created. Our first step is complete. Now let's start the second step that says download the WordPress and sync it with Xampp. Open your browser again. Search for wordpress.org. Click on Get WordPress. Okay, you will get a download link for WordPress CMS. Click on this button to start the download. The download has now been started. I'll pause the video again and resume when the download is finished. Okay, this is the WordPress CMS file we just downloaded. We'll have to move this file to htaccess folder inside Xampp in our Windows drive. Cut this file from here by right clicking and click on cut, or simply press Ctrl X shortcut. Now move to your C drive, open Xampp and look for a folder htaccess. Open htaccess folder. Now create a new folder here and name it whatever you want, but make sure you remember this name because we have to create a database with the same name. For now, I'll name this folder as Virtual Crafts. Okay, the folder has been created. Now open it and paste your WordPress CMS zip file in this folder. Now we have to extract this zip file. Right click on it and click extract here. The extraction is in process. Okay, now delete this zip file. We don't need it anymore. Open the WordPress folder, but we need to move all of its content to its parent folder. Press Ctrl A to select all the files and press Ctrl X to cut the files. Now move to the previous folder, which is Virtual Crafts, and paste all the files here. Now WordPress folder is empty, so we don't need it anymore. So delete this folder. Okay, now make sure that the files extracted by WordPress CMS zip file are present in local disk C, Xampp, htdocs, and then in your created folder. If it's not so, correct your sequence, otherwise you'll not be able to create a database that connects your WordPress to the localhost server. Okay, step 2 is also complete here. Now let's move to step 3, that how we can create a database that connects WordPress to localhost server. Open your browser again. Open Xampp control panel first. And start the Apache and MySQL modules by clicking Start. When the highlight color of both of these modules become greens, it means they are working fine. Now don't close this control panel, just minimize it and go for a URL localhost/phpMyAdmin. Okay, this is our localhost phpMyAdmin dashboard. Now as we know, we have to create a database here. Click on the database tab under server localhost title bar. Okay, now we have to give a name to this database. As I already mentioned, that the name of this database must be the same as the name of the folder we created in htdocs inside Xampp in our Windows drive. So let's go to our Windows drive, Xampp, htdocs, and let's copy the name of that folder and paste it here. Click on create. There's a success message. The database has been created successfully. Okay, now step 3 is also complete. Let's head toward our final step of running a setup wizard to install WordPress. Open your browser and type the string localhost / the name of the folder you created, which in this case is Virtual Crafts. Make sure that you write the correct name of the database after localhost / because if you write the wrong name or misspell it, this link will not open up. Okay, WordPress installation wizard is now started. Select your preferred language from here. For me, English works fine, so click on continue. Okay, this window is more of a warning for you to make sure that you know the following things before proceeding: database name, database username, database password, database host, and table prefix. You should know table prefix only if you are hosting more than one WordPress, so that's not for us. Click let's go. Okay, here you have to fill out some credentials. Enter your database name, same as the folder you created, which is VirtualCraft in this case. Your username cannot be anything else than root, so make sure you put root here. A question arises that why only root? Why cannot we put anything else in the username? Open your Xampp control panel. Against the module Apache, click on config and then phpMyAdmin. Here you can see that username is already specified as root, and in the password string there is nothing between inverted commas, so we'll keep our password empty. So you'll put an empty password in that credentials window. In the field of database host, you'll only put localhost because the database host is specified as localhost in our phpMyAdmin config file. change this WP underscore directory if you want to host more than one WordPress, but as we are hosting only one WordPress, so just click on submit to move forward. Click on run the installation. Okay, this window is strictly associated to our WordPress. It is not connected to localhost or our database in any way. Enter your site title. This will be the initial website title, which can also be changed from dashboard. I'll go for Royal Store. In the username field, I'll put admin. These username and password will be your WordPress dashboard login credentials. So make sure you remember these. In the password field, we have a very complex password. Change it to a simple one because we need to log in very often to our WordPress website. Check this box to confirm that you are allowing a weak password. Enter your admin email. This will be your WordPress admin email. Make sure you put a valid email here because this email will be used if you forget your password for the retrieval process, and all the contact form submission will go on this email. So make sure you put the valid email. Okay, we have another checkbox here. By checking this box, we can prevent our website to be indexed by search engines. It's completely optional. You can go with your own preference. Click install WordPress. Okay, the WordPress is now installed successfully. This window shows you your credentials. Your username is admin and the password is what you set. Click login. Enter your credentials. Check remember me so that you don't have to put your credentials the next time you log in. Click login. And that's it. We are on our WordPress dashboard. We achieved the same thing in the first video of this series by installing Bitnami WordPress. But a drawback in that one is that you cannot manage your databases, and not always but sometimes that may have your PHP version update issues. So that's why I've created this video. This is the more advanced way of installing WordPress in a way that you're hosting your website on your own computer but you're using the databases of localhost server. Okay, let's visit our website and see how it looks. So this is the initial draft, which is different from the one we installed then because that was not an updated version and did not have this 2020 theme. If you have any confusions about how themes change the look of your website, you can watch the video I created about how to install themes. I'll put a link in the description. So that's all for this video. You can let me know if you face any difficulty. If you like the video, please consider subscribing and hit the bell icon next to it to receive the notification for latest videos. See you in the next video.